What does a Ninja Warrior simulator, Mad Max style racing game, and whatever this is all have in common? The answer may surprise you, but it is in fact Doritos. Yes, you heard me right. The favorite snack of gamers and MLG icon is indeed responsible, in part, for bringing us some incredible classics to the Xbox Live Arcade. The titles I am referring to are Doritos Crash Course, Harm's Way, and Dash of Destruction. Before I expand on the connection Doritos has to these games, I'll first tell you a little about them. If you're like me, then there's a good chance you haven't heard of at least one of these games, if any at all. So without further ado, let's dive into these obscure titles. Let's start with Doritos Crash Course. As I stated earlier, this game is essentially a Ninja Warrior / Wipeout simulator that will have you racing across complex and fun courses varying between 5 different locations. 2 of these locations are restricted by a $2 DLC, that being Las Vegas and London, while the vanilla locations consist of the USA, Europe, and Japan. The gameplay is simple but fun. The game utilizes the player's avatar, which is a nice touch. Each level will have you jumping, dodging, sliding, and so on till you reach the finish line. Accompanying the player is a timer to match yourself up against your friends, which adds to the competitiveness of the game. While not a game you will spend days or weeks on, it's a casual and fun game to play with your friends, or even by yourself when you just have some time to kill. There was actually a sequel to this game that was released on May 8, 2013. Unlike its predecessor, it only lasted a year and was removed from the Xbox Live Arcade on April 24, 2014. If you've not played this game before, I highly recommend it, as it's a fun game to play and will really make you feel like you're back in 2010. Transitioning from Ninja Warrior and jumping into Mad Max, we find Harm's Way. Described by its concept creator Justin Carpenter, Harm's Way is a fast-paced co-op racing shooter. While better with friends or even randoms, this game also offers a pleasant single-player experience. Unlike games such as Mario Kart Double Dash or Crash Tag Team Racing, where you can attack rival drivers from your own vehicle, your partner is mounted in a turret placed along various positions in the hills and cliffs that surround the tracks. This is where the co-op fun really comes into play. You can select between the driver or the shooter, both with their own distinct roles and abilities. If the player chooses to be the driver, they can choose between 4 different vehicles, that being the buggy, the pickup, the truck, and the bus, each with their own set of stats. If the player chooses the shooter role, they are tasked with not only keeping the driver safe, but also destroying the other drivers. This even includes environmental destruction, which can really throw a wrench into things. The shooter can also destroy other enemy turrets nearby. The driver is not without responsibility though. Aside from simply winning the race, the driver has the ability to upgrade their partner's turret with various power-ups that can be picked up by driving into them on the map, though most of these are for the benefit of the driver. A useful power-up in particular is the turret downgrade, which downgrades all other teams' turrets. This kind of gameplay encourages teams to work together in order to win and literally crush the competition. The game consists of only 3 maps, which makes for a rather short experience, but nonetheless a fun one. With 12 relatively easy achievements offered, this is also a good game to get some quick gamer score if you're into that. Out of these 3 games, I have not played Dash of Destruction. In fact, you can't even play it today since it was removed from the Xbox Live Marketplace. The only way one can play Dash of Destruction now is if you had previously downloaded it before it was removed, or if you can somehow get your hands on Xbox Magazine's demo disc number 96, which contains the game. Released on December 17, 2008, Dash of Destruction is considered a racing game inspired by a concept from gamer
Gaming
Mike Borland, with a rather simple but interesting premise. The game consists of 3 modes, 2 of which take place on the same maps. The third mode is unlocked after the player completes the first 2. According to Wikipedia, in one mode, players play as a Doritos delivery truck, racing around town delivering Doritos. This is achieved by driving over Doritos bags. However, the player is doing this while a Tyrannosaurus Rex is chasing them, attempting to eat the truck. It is a race to see if the player can make a certain number of deliveries before the T-Rex can eat a certain number of trucks. In the second mode, the player takes the role of the T-Rex and must eat a certain number of delivery trucks before the trucks make a certain number of deliveries. The third mode is unlocked if the player completes both prior game modes. This mode will have the player control a sniper from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, shooting bottles of Mountain Dew in the allotted time. For shooting enough targets, the player earns a code that is redeemable on the Xbox Live Marketplace for 14 days of double experience on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Honestly, this game sounds like a total meme and gives me flashbacks to the glory days of MLG YouTube videos. Dash of Destruction seems to serve as the least well-received game of the three, but still seems fun for what it is and quite the meme. Now, as you recall and may have noticed by now, these games are all linked together through Doritos. More specifically, these games all serve as adver games, a form of advertising in a video game, in which the game is developed by or in close collaboration with a corporate entity with the purpose of advertising a brand. This is obvious by the names these games carry, but were they actually developed by Doritos? No. They were all ideas crafted by independent game studios and developers who received a sponsor from Doritos. This sponsorship came from what was known as the Unlock Xbox competition held by Doritos, in which a cash prize was awarded to whichever game received the most votes from players. All three of the aforementioned games were finalists in the competition at some point. In 2010, Doritos Crash Course and Harm's Way were both competing for the prize, but ultimately, Doritos Crash Course won. Shortly after though, Doritos decided to give both games the prize of $50,000 due to the positive feedback Harm's Way was also receiving. I think both games deserved it too. Unlike Dash of Destruction, the other two games feel a little more fleshed out and well thought. If you haven't already played Doritos Crash Course or Harm's Way, I highly recommend you give them a try. While it is true these games are essentially advertisement material for Doritos, it doesn't change the fact that they offer a great casual experience and allow you to get a taste of the glory days of the old Xbox Live Arcade. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, peace guys.